Okay, second part to the first video. So, okay, like I was saying, how he's reading my body language. He's starting to get a lot more calm around me because he's starting to trust me more. You know, I'm not trying to hurt him or anything like that. Snakes are very, very smart animals. They do have a really small brain, but they are really intelligent. A lot of times they can tell you from somebody else just by your scent or anything like that. I was actually watching a couple videos where people were saying that you should wash your hands before you go and handle your snakes and shit like that, and for the most part that's really bad advice. Usually if I go smoke or anything like that, I'll wash my hands, but I'll wait for a little bit before I pick up my snakes so that way I have the scent of my hands. Because if not, a lot of times they'll tag you, at least like with him, how he's a little bit aggressive. I haven't washed my hands when I've held him, just so that way he got to know my scent. You know, I let him lick me, which was kind of, not even gonna lie, it was kind of a scary experience because I wasn't sure if he was gonna tag me. He has a pretty good head. I mean, this video does not give him justice. The other thing I love about boas is that they have mustaches. But anyways, one of the, don't be hissing at me. One of the biggest, I guess, what's the word for it? Wow, it is way too early in the morning. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I can give somebody that's gonna own a big snake, or at least that's gonna own a big snake, that even a small snake, if you have to cage feed, if you don't have the room to feed your snake somewhere else, like I feed my snakes in a tub. I have a pretty big tub. I actually feed him in my shower too, which is a good enough size. So, but if you don't have the room to, and you're forced to cage feed, hook train them. You saw at the beginning of the first video how I took a pole and touched them, because it has a metal tip on the side of it. When they feel that, they know that it's not feeding time. Time and time again, I see people that cage feed and they don't hook train them or anything. Then you have to hook train from a very young age so that they get to know it. Like, you don't pick them up out of the tank or anything like that unless you have with the hook. It takes about a month or two to do, but after that you're usually pretty good with it. But anyway, that's what I'm attempting to do with him now, which is really hard to do with an older snake, but he's already starting to take to it a little bit, so I'm glad. But anyways, this video is going to be pretty short. I can't really say, well, I don't have time to say too much more, but one of the biggest things I can say is just be responsible if you're going to go buy a snake. I mean, at least do some research. I mean, I keep, you can see it. You see the wire? Well, the wire right there. I keep thermometers on both of my tanks just to make sure that I have the right heating for them. Usually I keep my house pretty warm, so I don't need a night light for them. Usually stays around 77, 78 degrees in my room, so I'm good. During the day, with a general temperature with snakes, it should at least be 89, 88. It's usually a good temperature. I keep his at more close to 90. It's pretty hot, and I have to keep his bedding pretty moist. Like, if you're planning on getting red-tailed boa, they are tropical snakes, so you do have to keep some level of humidity. Not high humidity like rainbow boas or anything like that, but usually I use Repti bark. Usually I just wet down or use a spray bottle or something like that, wet down the bedding every week or so. Usually keeps it pretty well, and I also have a really big water bowl, so that keeps enough moisture in his cage to where he's fine. He's actually starting to shed too. You can't really see it because my camera, but it's starting to get really dull and dark, so he's starting to shed. But I guess that's about all I can say right now. I'm kind of strapped for time, but rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you guys have any questions or anything about snakes that you might want to know, write them down in the comment box or on any of my other videos too, or even if you want to PM me or anything like that, feel free to. I'm on my computer most of the time, so I'll get back to you pretty soon. But thank you for watching, and no, damn it.